You know that you have potential, but you don't know what you're gonna do with it. So you just end up wasting time and probably playing video games all day long. Let me tell you what your future is going to look like. The path that you're going to follow. The mindset that you'll have for the rest of your life. All because you just watched this video. Because once you learn this, there's no going back. So this is pretty much your last chance to click off the video. But if you're one of those guys who just can't stand their life anymore, keep watching. By the way, if you don't know already, my name is Ozcar. I'm a young man on my self-improvement journey, on a mission here to get as many young men on self-improvement as possible. And if you like this type of educational content, make sure to subscribe. Back in 2020, in the peak of Corona, I was sitting inside, like the most of us, playing 10 or more hours a day of video games. I was a skinny gamer, but even then, I thought that I'd become successful, either as a pro video game player or a streamer of some sort. Now when I look back at my life, I've always been a big dreamer. Anyways, I was skinny, and my daily nutrition consisted of literally one microwavable soup, like the size of this, my hands here. Like the size of this one soup, and then a 6-pack of Coca-Cola. That was my daily nutrition. I didn't go outside at all, at least if it wasn't for the sake of a school assignment of some sorts, or going to the store to get more Coca-Cola and candy. And this was because of my newly developed acne, which I was very insecure about. I didn't want anyone seeing it. So I didn't go outside, and when I went outside, I made sure to wear a fucking mask. Cut to 2022, when people started to go to school again. This meant that my goblin ass had to somehow go outside again. I'd go to school dressed as a kid that only sees sunlight, maybe once a month. I mean, that part was true, but still. I wore black Adidas shoes with black Adidas pants with the 3 white stripes. I wore a black hoodie on with obviously my hood up. Then I'd of course have my good old mask on. And literally the only reason I wore the mask was to hide my acne. It was why I started to wear it and why I still was wearing it. Even though pretty much no one wore a mask anymore, and I was still wearing it. It was during this time that I came across a guy in a bathrobe on YouTube. You already might know who I mean, but his name is Hamza. Hamza changed my life forever. He changed my mindset, and that was basically the start of my self-improvement journey. Since then, I've become more confident, I've become so much more muscular, and I've gotten rid of so many addictions. And my health and my mental health have just improved so greatly. And the list just goes on and on, if I'm gonna be honest. Self-improvement has had the biggest impact on my life, which is why I made this video, because I want more people to discover it and know about it. So what is this magical thing called self-improvement? Well, it's quite simple and quite self-explanatory. It's the improvement of oneself, aka just get better. The Japanese got it perfectly with the philosophy of Kaizen, or in other words, continuous learning. This is the idea of getting 1% better every single day. And this mindset is very powerful, but you'll only realize the power of it when you've already become quite successful, or you've improved quite a lot. Like it's only now when I've achieved so many important things for myself that I can look back to where I started to where I'm now and be like, holy shit, the difference is so big. And you don't even realize it because it feels like you just live day to day. But because you're getting 1% better every day, when you do that on a big time horizon, the difference from the starting point to where you're now is just, it's mind-blowing. And as you can see on this graph, somewhere here on the screen, like in the start, it's like quite rough and difficult and you only make small progress. But because you get 1% every day, because you get 1% better every day, the effect kind of compounds. Imagine you start at 100. The next day you're 101. Then that 101 is going to improve 1%. You know? It's not the 100. So it's not addition, you're not going to be 365% better at the end of the year. You're actually, as you can see on the graph, you're going to be 37 times better. In a year, just in a year, you're going to be 37% better. A shout out to James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, for this graph. Hopefully you've made it this far in the video, because that means that you probably want to get on self-improvement. And if you've gotten this far, make sure to like the video so that more people see this video and they get onto self-improvement as well. This section of the video is probably the most important one, because you can do all the cute self-improvement stuff for a while and it's nice, but eventually you're going to fall into what's called a rut. You're going to go back to how you used to live. You'll stop doing all the self-improvement habits. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience here. I personally had a very long rut of maybe 4 to 6 months, and it wasn't even that long ago. This is why you have to remember this mindset that I'm gonna give you. The mindset is never go back. Never go back to that old version of yourself. Kill that version of yourself. That version of yourself that you used to be, that guy, doesn't exist anymore. What I've done to do this for myself is I literally have here written up on the wall, it says Ozcar and then 3.0. And then it says six things, not 5, 6 things that I'm gonna follow on a day-to-day basis, and it's basically like my rules of life. And I'm not gonna share those because they are quite personal, if I'm gonna be honest. But just know this, that even I struggle with keeping up with, I guess, me. I struggle up keeping up with me. Yeah. That sounds dumb as hell. Anyways, so for me personally, Ozcar 1.0 was a skinny video gamer with 0 confidence, had addictions, was basically the lowest low of humanity. Ozcar 2.0 was the kid that got on self-improvement, became more confident, got more muscular, got rid of addictions. And now I'm in the progress of pushing through the Ozcar 3.0, where I'm basically trying to kill off Ozcar 2.0, if that makes any sense. And why I preach this never go back mindset is because I just know how horrible it was living in a rut. It's not fun. It's like the worst self-hatred cycle ever. And when you're in it, it just seems that you just can't escape it. It seems like the only thing that you can do to escape it is it's like a miracle or something. Or a David Goggins TikTok. Why it seems that you can't escape it and why it's so bad is because literally you think to yourself, okay, I'm not living up to my full potential, which makes you hate yourself. And because you hate yourself and you feel sad, you go and do the bad habits for instant gratification to feel some kind of joy, but then you hate yourself for doing the bad habits, which makes you think that you're not living up to your full potential, which then leads to more bad habits. And all this while you're trying to distract yourself playing 10 hours a day video games or scrolling on TikTok. You can see how deadly this cycle is. And that's why I preach to you. Never go back. Once you change, never go back. If you made it this far, I'm actually happy for you. Because the path in life that you're going to follow is just so beautiful. It has done wonders for me, and I hope that it does wonders for you. Because if you've listened literally everything I've said here, or even close to something, like, even though you don't realize it, like you don't maybe learn it right now, it's still in your subconscious, it's in the back of your head right now. This message that I've told you now of self-improvement, right now it's in the back of your head, and you're just always going to remember it. You're not going to unlearn it. And like, it's like you don't see any other way to life other than self-improvement. And even if you decide not to go on self-improvement, it's still gonna be in the back of your head, literally haunting you. It will literally be haunting you in the back of your head, telling you you're not living up to your fullest potential. That's everything I have for you today. But remember, do it for your future self. Bye.